Welcome back to La Familia Mista Fantasy Football Week 10 Breakdown. It's your boy, the Commissioner, here, ready to break down all the Week 10 action and see who came out on top and who is making their move towards the playoffs. Starting out with Buckle Up Buttercup versus Team Ilucci. And this was a battle between two 6-3 teams, and Joey came through with a 93-73 win. Big win for Joey to come out on top. Joey was led by his three-headed running back monster of Walker, Montgomery, and Alvin Kamara with 19.2, 17, and 15 points respectively. That is a tough threesome and a tough team. He's got some people on the bench. Vinny was, of course, led by his young quarterback superstar, Sam Howell, with 24 points. Ayuk threw in 13, but nobody else on this team really did much. Moving on to the next matchup between Graham Sniffs and Megatron J. And Logan with the monster score, high score of the week, 137-88 victory. Big win for Logan. Watch out for him. He got 31 points from CeeDee Lamb, 24 from Devin Singletary. You need to watch out for him. He's coming for a top spot. Jared was led by CJ Stroud with 19. His whole damn team was on a bye. His next highest scorer was the Cleveland Browns defense with 15. Jared's got to bounce back next week when all his players are back. Excuse me. Moving on to the next matchup is Bijan Mustard on some Freeze or whatever my team's name is. Put on a whooping on Team Stingo, 126-98. I got 28 points from Justin Herbert. Javonte dropped 19, and Bijan threw in 17 of his own. I left 74 points on my bench with some bad start-sit decisions, and it was still okay. Paul got 19 points from San Francisco's defense. Golly, that was killing me. But Lamar was disappointing again, only throwing in 13 points. He has not lived up to his expectation this year. Paul's backup kicker had 21 points on his bench. Moving on to the next matchup. Homies with the extra chromies versus I'm a worker. And Graham came through with the 100-64 PU. Big win for Graham. He is 9-1. He is assaulting this league. It is not right. He was led by TJ Hawkinson with 25 points. Geno Smith with 25 points. Who never did that for the Jets, I may add, that fucker. I mean, moving on. Jared got mostly... No, not Jared. It's Matt. Got some stinkers on his bench with only 2 points from Trevor Lawrence. JT and Deontay Foreman, the only two players in double digits on his entire team with 14 and 16 points respectively. Moving on to the next matchup of Agad Aman Men versus Cookin and Mixon, and this is the closest matchup of the week. 116-111 victory goes to Dom. Dom had a big score from Amon-Ra with 26. Kittle threw in 19 of his own, and Baker threw in 19. Dom's D went -9 to make the score closer than it needed to be. James was led by a big day by Mr. Dak Prescott with 38 points, whooping up on them G-men. Michael Thomas was the killer for him, though. He only came through with 1.4 points. Moving to the last matchup of the week, and always my favorite. The leader of the family versus the Bodman! Bodman! Keep beating the Bodman, everybody. Siobhan with the big win, 125-105. Keep that man down. She was led by a 35-point performance from Keenan Allen. 27 from her other receiver, and Jamar Chase had 20. She has a three-headed, Mike Evans, I'm sorry. She has a three-headed wide receiver monster team. We might need to keep her out of the playoffs. She could be dangerous. Cannon was led by Jared Goff with 20 points, Chris Olave 18, and of course, Christian McCaffrey with 17 points because he's still good at football. That's it for the matchups. Moving on to the waiver wires, which was pretty quiet this week. Dom added Brock Purdy. Keenan added Tyler Boyd. I respect that pickup. A couple of defenses and kickers moving around. That's about it. But the big news as far as free agents or player acquisitions is the big trade that went through. Joey and Jared making a trade. Fergalicious for Puka Nuka. That's a respectable trade, and both teams got a little better. Moving on to the playoff picture. The New York side, James is done. He is officially eliminated from any playoff picture. He cannot make it. Dom and Paul both have 3 wins, and they will need some help. They can be officially eliminated this week. But the Jersey side is still wide open. Siobhan, Logan, and Jared all are 2 games back from a playoff spot, and there is a lot of fantasy football to be played in the next 4 weeks to decide who is going to make the playoffs on that side of the bracket. Speaking of the games that are going to be played, let's take a look at the matchups for next week. I take on James in the golly, I better not lose to James matchup. Then Vinny and Paul. Can Vinny eliminate Paul from the playoffs? Siobhan takes on Logan with big playoff implications. Both of them need a win to keep moving in the right direction. Jared takes on Graham, and Jared needs to upset the 9-1 Graham team. It's going to be a tough match for him, but he really needs to win to stay in the playoff picture. And Matt takes on the Badman Keenan. The winner of that game will be safer in the playoff picture, and the loser will be on the edge looking at a team that definitely is 1 game back from them with 3 weeks to go. And the final matchup of the week is going to be Dom versus Joey, and Joey has the ability to officially eliminate Dom from the playoffs if he wins, or does Dom stay alive? That's it for this week's breakdown, and good luck to all the people who are fighting for a shot for the playoffs. Signing off.